Yep, good evening. So, yesterday I given overview of what are the features. We discussed about DOM and Shadow DOM and Virtual DOM. I hope everyone clear with these three things. Huh? Right. So, how DOM model works and Shadow DOM and Virtual DOM I posted into Classroom. Huh? All those diagrams, you can check that. Now, after understanding the features, one more important point is you need to know about the issues with React JS. What are the technical issues, concerns? We can say concerns, cons. So the concerns of React. What are the various concerns of React? We will just see few concerns of React. What are the main concerns of React is, as already we discussed, React is a library. Huh? So what is the problem if it is a library? What is the problem if it is a library? So that means it can build application, but cannot control flow of application. That means the problem is you need support of various frameworks explicitly. Am I right? We need support of various frameworks explicitly to control the flow and handle the issue. Right? It is good in building interfaces, but it is a library. You need support of various frameworks. Not only that, actually, React needs it needs support of various third party libraries. It needs support of various third party libraries to handle various interactions. Without support of third party libraries also we can control, but it is a lengthy process. For developers, we need to provide a shortcut technique for handling. For example, best example, suppose we are working with forms and validation. If we are designing forms and validation, React can do forms and validation, but it requires lot of logic, events, DOM manipulations, DOM methods, events. Through that it can handle. To make it simple, React people have to depend on third parties like Axios, like Yup. These are the libraries. So many are there. I'm just giving one, two. These are the libraries we use additionally to simplify forms and Axios is related to APIs. Actually, this is Formic. Formic. Actually, Axios is related to API. To communicate with API, we use Axios. For handling the forms, we have to use APIs. For communicating with APIs, we can use the third parties like Axios, or we can also use like jQuery, AJAX methods for communicating with API. If you ask like, can't we do this in React without using third party? We can do that. But it requires a lot of third party integrations. Means lengthy process. We have to do it in a lengthy process, right? So technically, our concept is to understand that React depends on a lot of third parties. I just given that forms and validation, so many other things, right? Another option is the pace of development. So pace of development is very fast. It is hard for developer to catch the pace. For example, actually React first version React first version, they made open source in 2013. And now it is in 2022. That means first version is in 23. And in 2022, it is now 18.1. 18 versions. 18 versions. This is too much. By the time you finish learning the latest version of React, 2 more versions will be ready. That means it is very difficult for a developer to catch the pace. Right? Why? Because by the time I know about the new features that is changed, some more new features are there, some new versions, very fast pace of development. Due to that, you will come across with a concept called poor documentation. Poor documentation. Poor documentation because where I can find help for this. Because React is open source library. In order to find help for React, we have to go to official website. In that official website, how they will update very frequent changes. That means they designed a document for 18 and they are still designing one more version ready. That means in the documentation, you will find so many things which are incomplete, which are not clearly mentioned about how to implement. You have to do a lot of research as a developer. That means if you are using any version and you are failed in handling any particular issue, you have to do a lot of research on that to handle that issue. There is no clear-cut solution for that every time. Sometimes it is provided, sometimes you have to do a lot of research. You have to go to GitHub repository of their community. You have to go there, ask the question, the community will give you the answer, then you have to handle. This becomes a big issue for developers, right, when you are doing this. But these are not major concerns, but the major concern is library. The major concern is library and the support of various third parties explicitly we need for handling various issues, right? These are some important concerns. So with React, but these are not major. We can handle these with alternative, right? And which version of React we are going to deal currently? We are going to deal with React 18. So React 18 is 18.1 is very latest. It is in April 2022, very recent. So, and they made a lot of changes in this React 18. So including the approach of creating and configuring the elements also. So what we will do is we will see both versions simultaneously. That means because still companies are not using this version, which is a very latest. So I will tell you in previous version how they handle, in the new version how they handle, what differences, so that you can work on both versions, right? So we are dealing with React 18 version. So, and what are the key features already I discussed, concerns I discussed. Now we will see how to set up environment for this React 18, how to set up, how to install, what we need for building React applications. So React, there are two techniques actually. Set up environment for React 18. Set up environment for React 18. There are two techniques. One is you can use React in existing web application. You can use React in existing web application, or you can create a new React application. You can create a complete React application separate, right? There are two options. We can use React in existing project, or we can build a complete individual React application. So with front end and all the interface requirements. So there are two techniques. I will show you both, how to use React and how to create application separately and how to use React in existing application, right? First, we will see how to use React in existing application. For that, what is the environment setup is first step is what we are doing is step one, you have to download. So first step, yeah, I will once switch to this. Right. Right. So here we will see first step is you have to download. So download and install Node.js on your PC. That is the first step you have to do. Download and install Node.js on your PC. Why we need Node.js? Because so we are installing Node.js for a package manager called npm. I hope many people know about what is package manager. Huh? What is package manager? In general web development, package manager is a tool which is used by developers to install, update, uninstall various libraries required for project. For a project, if you need various libraries, we install them, uninstall them, we update them by using package manager. So many package manager tools are present. Like Yarn, like Bower, like Grunt, like Ruby Gems. So many are there, like NPM, like NuGet. So all these are package managers. You can use any. So we are going with the package manager called NPM. So, and to get NPM, you have to install. So we are installing you have to install Node.js. If you install Node.js on your PC, you will get a package manager called npm. Right? You can, these are all package managers. You can use any package manager. I will give you the link of official website also. This is Node.js official website. From here, you can download. This is the official website from where you can download. And you see when you visit this website, so in this website, you have the current version 18 and 16.5. So you download this 16.5. Later, we can update to this one because it is not still stable version, not a still stable release. So this is a stable, we will use this. And if you belong to other operating systems like Linux or Mac, it is available for everybody. You go to other downloads and you can get your download here. If you belong to other operating systems, you can use these downloads. So you have to just download the setup file and install. You know how to install. I hope majority of you people already working with HTML, JavaScript have Node.js already for installing various libraries. Huh? If not, you have to download and install this Node.js. It will give a simple setup file. You have to just follow the steps and install. And you know how to check after installing. You can open the command prompt and here you can test node-v. This is to check the node version, and you can check npm-v. This is for package manager version. And remember, Node.js is not supported for Windows 7 and lower. You have to upgrade to Windows 8 and higher. Another important, sometimes in companies already you may have Node.js installed, but make sure that you are installing Node.js version 12 plus higher anything. Because sometimes in old machines you may have Node 10 version, 8 version. So because companies are still using that, so that our latest libraries cannot run on that version. You need to upgrade to 12 and higher, right? Currently our version is 16. Node.js version should be 12 plus and NPM version must be 6 plus. 6 plus. Current version of Node.js is 16 and NPM current version is 8 actually, 8 plus higher version. So anything other than this is not recommended, right? So there is nothing like how to install the new version, nothing. You just install the new, it will automatically replace the old. It will not maintain multiple versions, so no issue will be there. You install the latest, it will override the old one, right? Simple. So open the command prompt. In the command prompt, you have to just run node-v. That is the 16 version. And npm-v. This is the package manager version. Package manager version is 8 above, right? So that means your computer is ready with a package manager. That's it. Okay. Now we have a package manager and every web developer needs a package manager. So package manager is ready. Next step 2. Second step. So we need editor. So download and install Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code editor. You download and install an editor. I hope you already know as a web developer on which editor you are practicing HTML and all those things. If it is Visual Studio Code, good, right? If because there are so many editors, you can use any editor. We recommend Visual Studio Code because it is open, it is a cross-platform, it is free, licensed. And another major is, it is from the people who built TypeScript. Because in future, when you are working with TypeScript, this will be a better support for TypeScript because these are the people who built TypeScript. So that is the reason better we will go with this editor. So many editors are there. Actually, this is official editor config. You see, these are all editors. You can use any editor. These are all the editors we can use for designing. You can use all these editors. So many editors are there. So we are specially going with the editor that is Visual Studio Code. Right, we are going with this editor. You can use any editor, doesn't matter. So we will download that Visual Studio Code editor. So what you do is you download from this official site. I will just give you the link also. Visual Studio Code. This is the official site. You can download this Visual Studio Code editor. So let me copy this URL for you. Just, yeah, this is Visual Studio Code editor. So why you need an editor, you already know, right? Editors are for building, debugging, testing, deploying, everything you can do from one place. After downloading Visual Studio Code editor, install following extensions. Extensions for Visual Studio Code. Best, keep these extensions for Visual Studio Code. Generally, Visual Studio Code is not ready for Visual Studio Code is not ready for your technology. That means Visual Studio Code is an editor that comes with lightweight features. According to your technology, you can customize. That means if you are a Python developer, you have to install Python extensions. If you are a Java developer, you can install Java extensions. You can use this even for .NET, Java, Python, PHP, any technology. All plugins are supported here. So currently, what extensions you need is, you just need one extension called Live Server. You install Live Server extension because we need a server to host our websites and test them. We need a live server, and better you install VS Code icons. VS Code icons will give reasonable icons for files so that you can easily identify file according to the icon. right? It is easy for identity. That's not mandatory. And one more, better you take help of so IntelliSense for CSS class names, in HTML. This another extension is good, helpful, because actually later what we will do is, later when we are developing our React application, we use lot of CSS, HTML, Bootstrap, and we can use React materials also. In that case, this plugin will help you in getting the names of classes, so identifying the classes, so that you don't need to remember much. You can just get help and you can choose from the help, right? But these are all not mandatory, but make this live server as mandatory. You have to install extensions. How? I will show you. Once Visual Studio Code is installed in your computer, it looks like this. That means in the programs, in the programs, you can see this is Visual Studio Code. And when you open Visual Studio Code, let me close my previous project. Actually, it looks like this. This is the initial page. It is the initial page. And here, so you can see there is an extensions button, right? You can go to the extensions button and you can search for extensions. What are the extensions? I told you, one is a live server. You can search for live server and you can install this for your Visual Studio. Similarly, you can search for VS Code icons, right? And you can install these also for, and you can use another IntelliSense. So IntelliSense for CSS class names, right? You can use this one also. These three extensions, I given the names clearly here. You can try them. So these are the extensions. These are the extensions you need for your Visual Studio Code, right? You can use React anywhere. Suppose you are a Java developer, you already have your Apache Tomcat server running. Already you have a web server, right? You can use that XAMPP server, WAMP server, Apache servers. You can use anything, right? So already if you are using Java, .NET like technologies, in those pages also you can integrate this React, right? I will show you in various ways, but here we are discussing universally. That means I am not concentrating on Java developer or PHP or Python or .NET. Universally, everybody who is learning React and working with that, they need all these images. Okay, so once you are ready with this, now we will see the process, means how to use React in existing web application. How to use React in existing web application, we will see this now. For that, first we have to create a simple web application. For that, we have to create a simple web application. Let's see how to create a web application. A simple process I will show you. See, first we will go to the PC location anywhere in my computer, any drive, C drive, D drive, somewhere. I am creating a new folder. Let me create a folder in my D drive. I will give the folder name as React Web App. Okay. So yeah, I think already it is there. Yeah. Already there is a React Web App. So let's clean up this. Yeah. I am creating a new folder here, React Web App. Okay. So I created a folder called React Web App. It's an empty folder. There is nothing inside it. So let's go here. First step. So create a new folder. Create a new folder for your project. So that is some, I choose a D drive. This is React web app. Remember, I am not doing anything new. I'm just creating a traditional web application first, just a traditional web application. So we are creating a new folder for the project. After that, open folder in your editor. Our editor is VS Code. In Visual Studio Code, you have to open it. Let's open that folder. We created a folder. Let's open that folder here. Go to File, open folder, and it is in my D drive. Anywhere you can choose your location. Create a React web application, web app. I selected that folder, and you can see currently it is empty. The folder is empty. There is nothing inside it. I hope you know how to make it as a professional web application. How to make it as a professional web application, because if you have learned general HTML, JavaScript, CSS, it's not like you just add pages, run it and see. We need to make a traditional environment for project. There is a certain standards to follow, right? There are certain standards to follow. You see, what we will do is first, how to make it as a professional web application. For that, first step is open terminal. That means you have a terminal and select new terminal. When I select new terminal, it opens the command prompt here. You can directly go to command prompt, or you can open terminal here. This is your project location. You have to open this terminal. In the terminal, you have to run a simple command. You have to run a simple command as npm init -y. npm init y. npm is node package manager. Init y, I hope majority of web developers know this. This is going to generate a package JSON for your project. It is going to generate a package JSON for your project. What is package JSON? What is package JSON? Package JSON is a file that contains metadata. Metadata means information about your project. That means what libraries you are using in project, which version library you are using. So all the information about your project is present in a file called package JSON. Traditionally, every web application will have the package JSON. And to create that package JSON, you need to run this command npm init y. npm init y, it is going to create package JSON and hit enter. Actually, y is optional. If I don't use y, it will walk through some questions. It will go through some questions. It will ask like, what is the project name? What is the version number? What is the library? Which is the testing environment? We don't want to answer those questions because later we will learn about them. So -y indicates yes to all the questions which are to be asked. So simply hit enter. Automatically you can see that when I hit enter, you can see it generates a package JSON file. Every professional web application will have package JSON. It contains all the metadata. And to generate that package JSON, you have to run this command. So what we have to do, you have to open the folder. After open the folder, open terminal. To open terminal, you have a shortcut. You can use Control plus backtick. Actually, this is backtick. You can use backtick, or you can select from terminal menu. Then here you have to run the command. You have to run the command npm init -y. Now what this command will do is this will generate package.json JSON. What is the purpose of package JSON? Every project contains its metadata in package JSON. For example, somebody designed a project and you borrowed that project. That means you downloaded online, somebody uploaded a project and you downloaded that project. Now, how you will know what library is required for that project? That means we will go to package JSON and there we will verify what are the libraries used in that project, which version is used, what libraries are used. You can see now currently when I open this package JSON file, it will get all the basic information here. By default, some details are generated in this file. Later, this file will be automatically updated when you are installing libraries, configuring everything here. So first step, we need a package JSON to make this as a professional web application. Second step, next, after you do this, now what you do is add following folders into project. Generally, every project contains two basic folders. One is public, another one SRC. As per the tradition, every web project contains two basic folders. Later you will get so many. So public contains all static resources. All static resources are kept in public folder. That means like HTML files, like your text documents, like PDF documents, like images, all you keep in which file? Public. And SRC contains dynamic resources like .css files, .scss files. SCSS are SAS files, like .js files, JavaScript files, .ts TypeScript files. All these are kept inside SRC. So traditionally, every web application contains two things. One is public, another SRC. Two folders are present. Okay, let's create them. Let's go here. You can see here, you can see in the project now, you can see this is new file button and this is new folder button. Right, we will click that new folder and we will give the name public. That is one folder. Let's click outside. Otherwise, if you keep selected here, the folder will be created inside it. Okay, I will create another folder. So SRC. Okay. Now these are the two basic folders required here. Okay. Now here I will go to public folder. And as per the tradition, you know, every web application starts with index page. I hope everybody knows that. We will use a new file here, that is index.html. Index.html. That means it will define a new file. And to create a basic HTML code, you can just put an exclamation. You just type exclamation and enter. It will give you the basic HTML code. That means all the basic HTML code it will import into this, right? Of course, if you want, you can write what you need, right? And here I will just change my title. I will change it as index. And here I am just keeping a heading, say index page. And see, as I told you that React is so convenient that you can use React in only one page if you want. Some people asked in the beginning, sir, can I use React and Angular in one application? You can use, no problem. One page can use Angular, another page can use React. We can do that. I will show you that now. That means that the point is here, I don't want index page to use React. I want home page to use React, another page. I want this as a general HTML page without any React working here, right? You can use React in a page and it's not necessary that every page have to use React, right? So what we do here is here, I just kept index page. Okay, let's add another page. I will add another page by name home.html. Okay, we have index and home page. This also a traditional HTML page. I will give this as a home. This is also traditional HTML page. I just give as home. And here I will put a heading as home. And here I want to use React. I want to use React. This is home using React. Okay. So that means what I will do, still how to use React, I will tell you now. Now go to index page. Here I am just keeping a link for home. We will put a link href is equal to home.html. That means whenever we start, the page will index, and from index I will go to home. And index page is not using React and home page is using React, right? So we can design an application. In that application, we can use React. So here, let's run this now. How to run this? You can right click in the index page. You can select open with live server. Open with live server. So don't try to open on file systems, because web applications cannot run properly on file systems. You have to run in web. That means many people have an habit of double click and open the HTML file in their computer. Always run on servers, right? Right click and open with live server. It will start your project on a live server. And by default, you can see this is the location. It is running your project here. And you see there is a index page. From index page, I can go to home. Now currently both are ordinary HTML pages only. So I will put here in the home page, I will put a paragraph. I will leave it empty. Below the paragraph, I will keep here anchor again, some back to index. Here I will just give href index.html. So that I can to and fro, I can have the navigation here. So back to index. Now a simple navigation is designed. Now I want this home page to use React. I want this home page to use React. How this can happen? See. So we have two folders. One is public, another SRC. Now here we will keep one simple option here. Add following pages into public folder. What are the pages? One is index.html, another one home.html. I will give the code later. First, I will explain the process. See, first important thing is, if you want to use React in your project, there are two techniques actually. You can use library from CDN. You can use library from CDN. I hope everybody knows CDN. CDN is content distribution network. That means any library, if you want, you can download the library and use it, or directly you can access from their servers. Right? I hope you know that. Everybody knows what is CDN. Huh? So you know CSS, JavaScript, you can download or you can use CDN. So we can use from CDN. First, I will show you how to use the CDN. So let's see the basic point now. So here, see the note I will give here. First thing is, in order to use React in any page, you need three basic libraries. In order to use React in any page, you need three basic libraries. One is React. It is the core library. Second one, you need React DOM. React, React DOM library. You need React DOM library. This is the core library. Huh? Another is React DOM library. It is used to control virtual DOM. It is used to control virtual DOM, and React needs virtual DOM. You need these two libraries, and you need a compiler library, that is Babel. Babel is a compiler. It is a JavaScript compiler. It is a JavaScript compiler. There are so many JavaScript compilers. Yesterday I showed you. V8 is a compiler and Babel is a compiler. Babel is a very popular JavaScript compiler. Very popular JavaScript compiler. Any JavaScript based technologies can use Babel. Angular, React, Vue, everybody. Any technology which is using JavaScript, they can use this Babel as compiler. So in order to use React in any page, you need three basic libraries: React, React DOM, and Babel. From where to get these two? From official React website, you can get it. From Babel official website, you can get this. That means now, because we are using CDN links, so what we do now, see, observe here. Go to the official website of React, right? So let's go to the official website of React, reactjs.org. In this website, you go to documents, there is docs. In the docs category, you will see CDN links are here. Right, you directly go to the CDN links category. They will provide you the CDN links here. And you see, they provided CDN links too. One is for development, another for production. I hope everybody know production uses minified files, na? min.js. For development, the original files. For production, minified files. I hope everybody know CSS, JavaScript, we have uncompressed files, compressed files. For development, we use uncompressed. For production, we use compressed, right? And it is showing the same. This is ordinary file. That means it is for development. So these are for production. These are minified files, right? I hope you know the difference when to use development, when to use production. Why we cannot use the production files in development? You know those, right? Because these are minified files. They cannot track the issues correctly and show the issues. So better use uncompressed files. So see, two libraries they are giving here. One script is React, another one is React DOM. React and React DOM. Those two libraries are here. So copy these two libraries and go to your project. In which page you want to use? I want to use in home. In home page, in the head section, we will put those two links here. Right? We put these two links here, and I hope you already know that when you are linking JavaScript files, there will be order dependency also. Order dependency issues will be there. If you misplace the order of JavaScript file, they don't work. So always first it should be React, after that React DOM. These two are compulsory. You cannot put React DOM first and React later. Order is also very important. Okay, these two are ready. Now we have to catch this Babel. That means we need this Babel. So what I will do here, I will give you the address directly. This is the location, so that in the notes you can practice. So React CDN, okay? React CDN is available here. You can go directly and borrow there, okay? Anyhow, I will copy that program into this so that you can get it directly. So these are the rigs. One more we need. What is it? Babel CDN. So let's go to the official website of Babel. Babel.js.io. Babel is a JavaScript compiler. Actually, Babel is a very large compiler. So many things are there. We don't need everything. We don't need everything. So what you need is, actually, you need Babel standalone. Standalone. You need Babel standalone compiler. You need a Babel standalone compiler. Babel have a lot of compiler mechanisms. So you need a standalone compiler where you will go for that. Here you can go to docs. In the docs, you can see where scroll down. You will see here Babel standalone is there. Huh? In the docs, Babel standalone is there. You get it from here. I will copy this URL for you. So this is the location where you will find the standalone compiler. Actually, Babel is a very big compiler. Everything you don't need. You need a standalone compiler. Now, you see here, this is the link. This is the link actually. This is the standalone link. You can use this link. Right? So that means you see, this is the script for Babel standalone. Right? You have to copy this now. Copy that here. Okay. And let's keep that also here. After this, we have Babel. Okay. Now your page is ready to use React. Actually, these three are enough. Initially, in order to use React in a page, you just need React main library, React DOM library, and a Babel compiler. What is React? It is the React core library. DOM is virtual DOM, and this is compiler. So technically, how do we handle this now? See, what I want the React to do is, I want React to display some message in paragraph. I want React to take control of paragraph and display some message. If you are JavaScript, jQuery people, you know, document, get element by ID, paragraph, at inner HTML, you display some message, right? Now, how React can do this? Now, in React, old and new version, some changes are made. Remember, React 18.1 changes are there. React 18 and 18.1 changes. Previously, it was React 18 and now it is React 18.1. In 18.1, they given a new approach. In 18, up to 18, different approach. Up to 18, how to handle this? See, simple. What we do is, we write a script. Now, very important, in this script, first step is, we want the React DOM, to render some message inside this paragraph. Then what we can do is, we can simply access React DOM.render method. React DOM.render. So render is a method which is used to render some output onto the page. I told you already, rendering and painting, right? That means it renders that information. So in rendering, render, what to render and where to render. We have to tell that what to render and where to render. Suppose I want to render just simply a heading, or say, because it is already paragraph, I will render welcome to React. Welcome to React. So I am just using welcome to React. Okay, comma, where to render it? Where to render? I want to render in this paragraph. How to call that paragraph? You know JavaScript methods. It is not having ID. If it is having ID, get element by ID. If it is not having ID, no problem. You know other techniques, na? Document dot what? Query selector. You can use query selector. Through that you can access paragraph. That's it. That means now you are saying that render this message into this paragraph. That means what to render and where to render. You just define that. That means we want to render this message into this paragraph. And important now, you written a simple script. Now, if you written a simple script, the page thinks that this is ordinary JavaScript, but this is not ordinary JavaScript. This is not ordinary JavaScript. We call this as JSX, JavaScript extensions, JSX. We call this as JSX. And that is secondary part. JSX I will tell you, but remember, this script is actually translated by JavaScript interpreter. In browser, we have a JavaScript interpreter, it will translate. But JavaScript interpreter cannot understand React DOM.render. It can understand only get element by ID, query selectors, only these. Others it cannot understand. So this line need to be translated by Babel. It is need to be translated by Babel. So this script type must be text/Babel. Otherwise, JavaScript will try to compile it and it can't understand anything. JavaScript have a compiler, translator in every browser. It will try to translate and it can't understand anything because this is to be translated by a special compiler, that is Babel. Now you see this. This is in the home page. And here it is showing welcome to React. This is my index page. In index page, I am not using React. I am going to home page. In home page, React is working. The React is working in my home page. That means I am using React in only one page of my application. Right? In another page, I can use jQuery. In another page, I can use Angular. Anything I can do that. Right? That means people who don't have an idea on traditional web development, they have such questions. Can I use this and that together? Because in interviews, they test it. Because in general interviews, they test, are you genuine experience or faking? Because so-called 3-4 years experience people, 5 years experience people, they don't have complete web development idea. That means they know only one way what they know. From 5 years, they are working in only in that standard. They don't know all other techniques of building application. Due to that, when you go to interview for a 5 years experienced person, what should I ask? I think that he knows everything. Right? That means no, he don't know everything. He knows only what he worked on for several years. So there are so many tricks and techniques of building an application, managing an application. If an experienced person is experienced really in all the techniques, he will not ask a question like, can I run this and that? You can run anything anywhere because it is not together executed. Right? Individually, I am using it only in this page. But remember, this is old technique. Old technique means up to React 18, this is how it works. See here, I will go to inspect. In the inspect, I will go to here, the console. I will go to the console. In the console, you can see it is showing some error. It is saying that React render is no longer supported in React 18. But it is working. It is working, right? We know that it is no longer supported, but it is working fine. Because this is one of the major point actually. Because React is backward compatible. Backward compatible means it can handle the older versions also. That means you can build an application in a new version using the old features. It will work. See, our library is 18 latest, but I am using an old technique of rendering. It's working. That is what the backward compatible means. It is working, but it is showing a warning saying that don't use this. Right? It is working. Backward compatible means even you are using a higher version library, it supports old features. If it completely removed that old feature, then it should not show that output. Right? If it is backward compatible, it is showing that message and it is telling that, so behalf of it is running React 8.17. Right? React 17, that means it is using. So it says that your app will behave as it's running 17. Even though library is 18, it behaves like it is running 17. Because in 18, some changes are made. And one more point is, if I don't give this type text Babel, that means now it is unable to understand. It is unable to read. It is not a DOM element. It is unable to render. So because by default, generally you have type as text slash JavaScript. Na? Default MIME type is text JavaScript, and it cannot understand. It cannot understand because that is not JavaScript program that is related to Babel. Or actually the way of presenting this is also called JSX. The way of presenting this is also called JSX, JavaScript extension. Babel uses this JSX syntax only. It calls this syntax as JSX. In that case, if I say Babel text JSX, it is working. I can use JSX or better use Babel. Right? What is JSX? You will learn detailedly. So you can just put it currently Babel. That will be fine. But this is the old technique. This is the old technique up to React 17 and 18 also it is there. 18.1 they have changed. So what change? Actually the approach of rendering the contents and some changes they have made it. That means actually, so this I will comment. This I will comment. This is a multi-line comment. This is the older version technique. Now that means there is nothing to render here. There is nothing to render here. In the new version technique, what happens here actually is we need to create a root. We need to create a root. How to create a root? We have to use same React DOM. There is a method called create root. Which element you want to use as root? That means from where you want to render React. I want to render React from paragraph. From this paragraph, I want to render React. In that case, we have to access that paragraph. How to do that? Document.query selector. What is it? Paragraph. We are accessing that here. We are creating the root. After configuring the root, what we have to do is, into that root, we have to render some information. That means now root will use render method. That means into that root, we have to render. What to render? So here we say hello React. So I am just rendering this option. I am rendering just this root have to render this option. That means it is rendering this one. So still here you can see here it shows hello React now. There is no error. There is no error. There is no warning because this is the new one. This is the new technique of rendering the content. That means first you have to create a root. You have to mention from where you want React to take control. So that means we need to create a root element. Now you may get a simple doubt like why I need to define it as a constant. Right? Why I need to define it as a constant? You know JavaScript. No need to ask this as a question at all, right? Because you know that constant means initialization is mandatory. Constant means initialization is mandatory. And you cannot reassign any value. Initialization is mandatory. Variables can be declared. Var can be declared, let can be declared, but const cannot be declared. It must be initialized. Const indicates that initialization mandatory. That means when you are initializing root, when you are defining root, initialization is compulsory. Initialization is compulsory. Without root initialization, React cannot take control. React cannot take control. In that case, we have to first configure which element to use as root. That means we have to create a root element. The root element is created. This paragraph is used as root. Into that root, you tell what to render. It can be anything. You can keep a div. Am I right? I can put a div. Inside the div, I will keep a div. So if it is a div, inside this, I am rendering some heading. Am I right? I am rendering some markup. I am rendering some markup. And you can see that it can render that markup here. You see, it is unable to render that markup here because you know that actually in order to render markup, you need inner HTML, inner text like options. You know that, na? Right? It is an RC data type. RC data type. I will show you how to render the markups and define them. Initially, later you will learn about that. This is called JSX syntax. As of now, you just keep, so suppose here it is a heading, okay? Here, if it is another heading, if it is another heading, suppose we mark it as heading 3 and we have to access that heading 3, then we can just display the message into the heading. We can just display the message into the heading. It will render that. Later, you will learn how to handle the markups. How do we configure the markups? So this is the basic, how React is used in a page. Right? Is it a React application? No. It is a traditional web application in that certain page is using React. Right? That means it's not necessary that entire application should be React. Right? This is a simple React. This is the latest feature. So this is up to 17. So up to React 17, right? This is, and this is from React 18. So this is the syntax of React 18. React 18, how it renders the content. So up to React 17, this is how we do. And in React 18, this is how we need to configure. So in this, I have two options now. So example is which page? Index.html. I will copy this page. Just it is having some link. Another page is home.html. In this, we have this one. We can handle this. This is the process. This is the complete notes. This is the complete notes of what we discussed today. You have to try this. Okay, if you are done with this, so if you have facing any problem in the next session, I will check that. If you are facing any problem, let me know. I will check what problem you are facing. First, you need to try this. Then you can see how to build a separate React application. That is the major thing. Here we are using React in existing application. So how to build a separate React application, how to construct the interface, everything, we will start working with that. From tomorrow, we'll see that. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss how to handle that, right? Today, you need to practice this. Then tomorrow, we will see how to build a separate React application. Okay, right. Yes. What is your doubts?
Sir,
Yes.
like actually in that you said no, sir, root dot render method when we have to pass a markup in the sense, you said you.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself if you want to speak. Anybody?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes. Yes, Kamalesh.
Sir, actually in the root dot render method, one small doubt, sir. You said in order to pass a markup, we need to use some other thing, concept, something.
Ah,
I have one doubt, sir. Like, why can't we directly pass instead of passing as a string? Why can't we directly pass a?
do you know HTML elements, void elements, RC data elements?
That okay, sir. That new concept, okay, sir. Like what I'm asking is,
Are a genius. I am saying do you know RC data elements?
no, sir.
No. You know inner HTML, inner text in JavaScript?
Kind of, sir. Yes, sir.
A kind of.
I will like I'll do
Without that, you can't understand this topic, Mr. Kamlesh. First, learn JavaScript and
sir.
come. Okay.
Sir,
Before you ask these doubts, you must be very good in your JavaScript first. Understood?
okay, sir.
For a person who don't know at least basics of JavaScript, it is waste of time of discussing all this. Understood? Right?
Yes, like 1 minute, sir. Like please listen my point alone, sir. Why? Because like I directly passed the H2 tag directly, sir. I got the output. That's why I asked. Okay?
You wait for 2 more days. You will understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. I installed Visual Studio Code, but when I open it, it is asking to install again and again. Is there any solution for that, or should I?
You are opening the setup file again and again. You have to open from programs after installing.
From programs, sir.
You are opening the setup file again and again.
Oh, okay.
You have to, after installing, it will be in programs. You have to select from programs. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hello. Sir, what is the difference between YARN and NPM, sir? What is the difference between YARN and NPM, sir?
YARN and NPM, package managers. Yes. There are different package managers. What is difference between different editors? Same. Every package manager have some different features which help you to handle in various environments easily. Okay.
Sir, someone is told to me YARN is faster than compared to NPM. Is it right or not?
It depends on his environment, not for everybody.
Okay.
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 Hello, sir.
Hello. Sir, Rupesh here.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Rupesh.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm just asking. After suppose we are doing the practicals, right? So as a React developer, we need some some debugging or some write test cases.
Without that, how you will become a developer? Without that, how you will become a developer? Obviously, you have to do it, na?
Yeah. So you covered that thing.
See, without covering those basics, how you will become React developer? Right? We have to learn all those.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Swarup from this side.
Yes, Swarup.
Sir, I am Angular batch also, morning 7:30. Okay. Sir, some due to internet disconnected, 14 May class online student is missing. Sir, please upload this class video, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is Siddharth.
Yes, Siddharth.
I'm also doing Angular with you in the morning, 7:30.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I joined for React in April with Mr. Sanjay in the evening, same timing, 7:30.
Acha. Okay.
I never knew that he will take 35 days to reach React.
Acha.
So I know what I spoke to Naresh Technologies is like, I'll pay again 8,000 rupees for your batch. So I want to know, like, do you start React? I mean, within 1 week, or again some fundamentals, all that stuff will go again?
Already we started today. What do you think?
No, I understood the concepts. I'm the React programs itself. Last time what happened, I had a bad experience. Like,
See, we already started React, right? What do you think? First day itself, we will build an application. Huh?
Okay, so we will be on to React right from the first week itself. You mean, yeah?
Already we started, right? Today,
Okay.
we started building a React application, right?
Yeah. So only the TypeScript fundamentals will come somewhere in the middle
After
of the
JavaScript. We finish everything with JavaScript, then we will go with TypeScript. That will be easy, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, this is Bon
Fair
Chaitanya.
enough. I just wanted to tell you something like, I'm attending your sessions in Angular. I'm highly impressed with your teaching skills.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm pretty happy actually.
Good. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Bon Chaitanya. One doubt is,
Yes, Bano.
so I have explained how we can maintain using CDN, Angular, or Vue.js or React at once in that file. So can we, I mean, is there other way like installing NPM modules, or only this is the way?
Already I told you, right? We are today seeing how to use CDN.
Yeah.
Right? We can download, we can create a separate application and use it. All methods I will show. Okay.
Not this one. I'm asking. So we can also implement Angular, React, and the same
Of
folder.
course.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you are integrating in different pages, different modules can use. Do you know IRCTC?
Yes.
IRCTC uses PHP and Java and .NET 3 technologies. Do you know?
I'm not aware of this.
In one website.
Okay.
You can check that.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Thank you.
Certain modules they use in PHP, certain modules they do in .NET, certain modules in Java, like that, right?
Yeah.
Because of their flexibilities and issues they face. Okay.
Yeah.
It is always possible. Huh?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So this is Harish.
Yes. Who is this?
Yeah, Manoj, I had a question like
Manoj.
what is the use? Yeah. So what is the use of RC file actually?
What is the use of?
RC file, RC configuration file, that is local.
What is RC?
Yes.
What you are talking about? I haven't got a clarity. Have you seen anywhere that RC file?
Yes, RC file. It is actually when we install that React Node version. So it will be creating that in the local Windows folder structure. It has like RC.RC folder. RC file is been creating. So
RC folder.
Not folder. It is a file. This is some kind of config file.
That is a configuration file, right?
Yes, a configuration file.
It is used for relation type, na?
Yes. So let's say I'm logging with my user ID. And I have to be know like who am I? Okay, so whenever I type like who am I, it should be give like the person who has been logged in. Okay, this configuration type actually it will be having in a local Windows folder structure. So these are the structure it is creating. So need to know like what is the .rc file.
When we are building cross-platform apps, we will discuss about that.
Okay. Right. And one more question is like let's say we are using like a Visual Studio and want to be compile this directly from the Visual Studio. Is it possibilities there instead of we do that develop?
I hope you already done that in your general HTML, creating a local server, hosting from the local server, right? Local IIS or Apache Tomcat or XAMPP or other servers, right?
But Tomcat, these are the things it will be supporting for JavaScript.
Why not? That means Java will not support JavaScript. Huh?
Java will support JavaScript definitely.
Then which server Java uses?
No. Let's say because see like we are using like a Windows means Visual Studio Code. So in Visual Studio Code, I wanted to be debug the code. Means instead of I open that.
You are jumping your question. First question you got clarity, huh?
Yeah, I got the clarity.
Second, this is second question, huh?
Second question.
Second question. Tell me.
And second question is like, and I wanted to be debug the source code, means JavaScript code from this Visual Studio.
You can.
It's possible, right?
Possible.
Okay. Okay, so basically what we generally do like a visual to means we are writing some React code, and when we want to be debug that source code means we need to be use like a Chrome Developer Studio means visit that code, and we will be trying we will be giving like a breakpoint, and from there we will be debugging each line of code.
Which tool you are using?
Like a Chrome browser is coming and default dev tool is coming. Right?
That is not React, na? That is Chrome debugger, right?
Chrome debugger, yes. I'm talking about Chrome
But
debugger.
you have so many React based plugins also.
Okay, okay. So we need to be plugin need to be included.
You can use them. Huh?
Okay. Thanks. Got that.
Sir, this is Harish.
Yes, Harish.
What is the need of downloading Node.js?
For a package manager. You need a package manager as a web developer to install various libraries.
Okay. Here my question is, in today's you shown one sample using homepage and index page. When we are using React and React DOM and Babel, we taken as the CDN links.
Have you seen how I generated package JSON?
Okay. Yes.
How we done that? By using package manager, right?
NPM. Okay.
Same way you can download React libraries, Bootstrap libraries, everything for your project through NPM.
Okay.
That NPM comes with Node.js. No?
Okay. In today's project, we didn't use any.
Already we used that package manager for generating package.
Okay. Got it.
Later we can use for other libraries also, right?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, what is the difference between CSS and SAS, sir?
So CSS is a preprocessor of SAS is a preprocessor of CSS.
Sir, if, for example, if I write the code in SAS, it will generate.
Who is this? Haribabu?
Yes, sir.
Now don't come up with HTML CSS questions in React. Don't waste time, man. Right?
Sir, I am asking about.
This is for the people who are good in HTML CSS. Okay. Don't ask HTML CSS questions here. Don't waste time, man.
Okay, sir.
Come on, behave like a matured one. Right.
Sir, one more question. So I'm using like a Ekman Swift 6 version. So where
you are using
Ekman script.
You are using ECMA 6 version.
Yeah.
How you are using that? How you configured it?
So that is my question. How to configure this one? How should I know that I am using like EC6 or EC7 or like?
You will see that in library maintenance. If you don't know, later you will see when you are dealing with TypeScript.
Okay. So is it required to be configured app setting? Means
yes.
Package.json file.
What?
Now my question is that I use that JavaScript library, latest Ekman script 2015.
See, I hope you are not completely aware of JavaScript. JavaScript have a analyzer called ESLint. You heard about it?
Yes, yeah.
That is where you configure the version for JavaScript.
Okay.
Right?
Hello.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Shishir here.
Yes, Shishir.
Sir, you will cover Redux in this course as well?
Yes, we will.
Okay, sir.
Hi, sir. One last question. Like,
yes, Siddharth.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, like, are you teaching Bootstrap by yourself in any of the timings?
Bootstrap generally happens in full stack courses.
Yeah, because when you were teaching Angular, I saw some Bootstrap training examples going on. So I wanted to join. Is that possible? What timings was that?
So already in other batches we completed Bootstrap. You need to wait for some other batch to start with. Mostly it will be 4:30 p.m. after 2 weeks.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And if we have any questions like how do we reach you? Like
same way. Every day after the session, you can get back to me, or we will create one Telegram group and post to you. So that you can raise your question there and anybody can answer, or I will get back to you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Hi, sir. This is Mahesh. So when your next Angular batch is going to start?
Next Angular batch, it will take time, at least 3-4 weeks.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right.
And sir, what the timing, sir? For the next
7 a.m. Angular will be 7 a.m. Yes, okay. I hope everyone is clear.
Sir, one small doubt. What is the duration of this course?
Yes, Harish.
What is the duration of this course?
It will take 50 sessions, 45 to 50 sessions.
Okay, is session available on Sunday also?
No, only weekdays. Saturday it will be there, Sunday not.
Okay, fine.
Right. Okay, let's continue in tomorrow's session. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.